What's up, Mystic Manifesting family? Nick with Mystic Manifesting here, and today we're going to talk about something that I talked about on yesterday's live. So I'm just doing this right now because I've got a whole list of videos, and I have made a meme about this. I did a live stream about this, and I'm going to talk about it again right now. And I've talked about it again in the past, and I'll probably talk about it again in the future. But do you need a coach to manifest? Take it. Take a minute to think about that. Based on me, who I am, what do I do? Do you need a coach? I am a coach. Nope. Because no matter what you want to manifest, you're always manifesting. This is a God given ability. It is something that we are always doing. It's our programming. Your thoughts create. And as long as you're thinking, you're creating. And wherever your attention is, your energy flows to that. So if you're dominantly focused on negative, this is the most pure, simple breakdown of this. This is the very law of attraction-y instead of a law of assumption breakdown of it. If you're in a generally negative, shitty mood with a bad self-concept and assuming the worst, that's the kind of life that you're going to live. If you're assuming that your life is great, you look for the good and everything, you look for the positive, that's the life you're going to live. That's the most simple breakdown I could give you, that if you're looking for good, you're going to find good. What you seek, you will find. And I feel like I've got a handful of the same sayings that I just say again and again and again, but that's really all you need to know. And I'm going to keep pounding it into your heads until you remember it. And why do I say it so many times too? Because it helps me too. Every day we're human beings. We naturally feel like we have no power. We feel the need to have fear. We feel like things aren't going to work out. We look for the worst case scenario. It's a survival instinct. It's just something that is innately in human beings, that we just feel very negative most of the time, fearful, and looking for the worst possible outcome. But it is that ability in us to imagine the best case, the wouldn't it be wonderful if case, instead of the, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? We're looking, what we're looking for, we are going to find. We're always looking for something. We're always thinking. Our attention is always somewhere, and that's what we need to pay attention to. Where your attention goes, energy flows. So, long story short, do you need a coach? No, because I'm not thinking for you. These other coaches, no matter how great they are, Neville and all these other teachers, no matter how great they are, all these teachers throughout history, how great they are or were, they cannot think for you. What your job to do is listen and learn. When you learn the information on how to manifest, it is your job then to believe that, hey, this is going to work for me. Despite what I might see, despite the negative circumstances that might pop up, despite how bad I might feel in the process, despite all of these little obstacles that are going to hit you, no matter what comes your way, you know that this will work. Because if it worked for Nick, it will work for you. If it worked for the other coaches and their clients and my clients, it will work for you. If it worked for Neville and Florence and Joseph Murphy and Abdullah and all those people in the early 1900s, it'll work for you. If it's worked all the way back through history, all the way to the ancient Romans, ancient Greeks, all the philosophers back then, if it went all the way back to Jesus' time when he's talking about all this stuff, then why would it not work for you? What makes you so special that it doesn't work for you? It's a really funny thing to think about, that you have this in your mind, that you're so special, that you stand out from everyone else in history, but the specialness you see in yourself is that you're less than everyone. That's a pretty fucked up self concept, and that's something you need to check and to fix, because that self concept is just going to get you in a lot of trouble. So, what is a coach good for? A coach is good for seeing the flaws that maybe you can't see, to identify limiting beliefs that you have that you might not feel are limiting beliefs, and to guide you with a program that you might not be able to come up with because you're so anxious or fearful, or you don't really know how to use the law, or change your thought patterns. And if they're a good coach, it's because they've done it by experience, and it's because other people have trusted them and they've guided them in the right direction. And you see all these other areas of their life excelling and them just growing as a person. So if they're a good coach, you're going to see that, and you're going to feel that confidence from working with them. And like I've seen it with a lot of my clients. I've seen it with people who coached with other coaches or whatever. They get this the next, like, sometimes I'm not promising this, and I'm not saying that all these coaches get it, and I'm not saying that I get it, but it's something that happens a lot. Why do you get like immediate results? Why did when I like was learning all this, it's like, oh, if I do this, it's going to happen. It is your belief that that is going to happen that makes it happen. It is your belief that's so strong. That's faith. You have so much faith in this coach that you're going to get movement. You do. And I mean, there has been multiple clients where it's like they feel like they're in a hopeless situation. The next day, there's movement towards it or the actual thing. That had blown me away. It's like, man, where was this when I was doing it for myself? And it's because I was building that faith in myself. But because you've seen that, oh, Nick has done it, if I work with him, I will be able to do it. And that's good. I become your permission slip then. And if you could use that, use it, get the coaching, whatever. If it's not me, it's another coach. Okay, if that's what it takes to give you the permission, or that's how you give yourself the permission, good. Just make sure, like, if you're my client, I know what I do is my job is to have as less or least amount of sessions as possible, which is a really bad sales tactic, but I don't want you to have to come back. I want you to come back with a success story. Obviously, you're not paying for that session. It's just send me an email or tell me about it. But I don't want you to come back. Not in a mean way. I'd love to hear from you, but it's not like a doctor or a therapist where it's like my job is to keep you sick and coming back because that's where my money comes from. No, I can make money from other places. If you're a true manifesting guy or girl and you can make money from anywhere and money's coming from you and your wealth is flowing to you in abundance, you don't need to sit there and be like, oh, I need you to come back again, come back again. You want to book another session? You want to book another session? No, you just trust that you've done everything you can and that they have heard the knowledge and they're going to take it and apply it. So what I want you to do is actually start applying the knowledge too, because 99.9% of all of you who watch my channel, you watch every other channel, you've read all Neville's books, heard all his lectures, you've listened to everything. You started with The Secret probably, and you realize it's like, well, why am I getting no movement? Ask yourself honestly, are you putting more effort into learning or applying? I can tell you today, what have I done today? Today I woke up, I did some gratitude stuff, but the chance is once that fucking phone's in my hand, once I'm on TikTok and I edit up a couple little clips to post on there and I post them, and it's like, while I'm waiting for it to render, I'm scrolling, brain rot, just letting it go. Well, what's happening? I don't have control of my mind now. This thing has control for 3 seconds. This thing has control for 10, 20, 30, 3 seconds. So that has my attention. That has my life. The phone has my life. So again, I'm going to do another video on this thing, but be careful what you consume, what kind of content you're dealing with, because you want to spend as much time as you can within yourself. That's where the inner conversations with your specific person are. That's where the visualizations of your dream life are. That's where the ideas come from. That's where the positive self-love comes from. It comes from going within. You find nothing out here on the phone. You find it not out there by somebody telling you something you want to hear. It's all within here and in here. Feeling and knowing that you are the man and the woman you want to be. So with that, I mean, it's a long, drawn off thing. I'm trying to keep these videos relatively quick, but do you need a coach? Long story short, no, you don't need me or anybody else to tell you that you can do this. We're only here as a reminder, a permission slip if you use it. You were here to do this for yourself. And, maybe some coaches won't like me because I'm saying this information. Maybe I'm a bad businessman for myself, but there's other ways to make money. There's other ways to do things. And it never sat right with me that, oh, I've made all my wealth through, maybe this is my own limiting belief on why I haven't made the money I have with the channel. Because It never sat right that, oh, I'm going to teach other people how to get rich and manifest wealth by taking their money to tell them something that I'm not really applying. That doesn't sit fucking right with me, man. Like, yeah, I've made money with the channel, but I've made money from other avenues besides my day job. I'm working on setting it up to make money through a vlogging channel right now, to go back to my comedy channel. There's other ways like online that you can make money through the merch business, the merch stuff that I sell through here. That's a way I can make money. It's not coaching. It's not being like, oh, here's this. This is something I've always wanted to do, is have a line of inspirational fitness clothing. And, I'm doing it the way I know how to do it right now. And that's another way I can bring in revenue. Running the Discord. It all kind of stems from this motivation thing, but it's not from, oh, I need to get client, client, client. No, those are little ways that are more affordable and cheaper. Like, that's how I thought about it. And then there's businesses I want to open. I want to own a gym. That's something I'm going to do. I don't know when. It's not like a very urgent thing, or it's like a strong, strong passion at the moment, but that's something I want. It's something I've wanted since I was a teenager, and it's always been there in my mind. There's so many ways to make money, and I'm getting off. I always tell you, like, I'm getting off. I always tell you that, like, I'm gonna be real and honest with you, and always tell you about myself and who I am. So maybe I'm branching off too much into that, but the point is, you don't need a coach. You need to give yourself the permission. You need to apply what you're learning. What good is information if you don't use it? What good is, like to go back to what Arnold said back in the day. I mean, he might be an asshole now, but when he was younger, he brought up a good point. What's the point of having a great ship with a great captain if you have nowhere to sail it? If you don't know where to go, the captain and the ship are useless. So make sure you got a good captain, which is yourself. You know what you want, know exactly what you want, and you will find the means to get it. It will appear. The miracles will start flowing into your life. That's something. That's a promise. that's that's a promise, and something I've seen and lived. Like, if it worked for me, just some regular guy that read the stuff like you did, that listened to the stuff like you did, why the fuck would it work for me and not for you? Why the fuck would it work for everybody? Like, Reddit has these stories every day. We talked about that in the live stream today. People have shitloads of success stories. And then guess what? If you're giving yourself the credit and using gratitude properly, you'll realize that you have a lot more credit than you're giving yourself credit for. You're not paying attention to all the good in your life because you're so upset over that one thing that you don't have. And guess what? You're putting so much more attention on, I don't have, I don't have, I don't have. It's almost saying, don't give it to me. So I think that makes sense. I think that, this is something that you guys could understand, that if I did it without a coach, one of the times, yeah, I did use a coach, but every other time I was alone. There was nobody other than I could listen to all the videos I wanted. I could listen to all the audios I wanted. I could read all the books I want, do a million different things. But when the book is closed, the audio runs out, the video ends, there's nobody but you and yourself. And sitting there scrolling your phone's not going to do anything. It's not going to help, cultivate that mindset, that belief. It's going into the dark place alone, armed with the knowledge, the belief, and the faith in yourself to create this version of yourself that deserves what you want. You have to do it alone. Granted, we're the Mystic Manifesting family and we're a community and we're all here to support each other. But in those quiet moments, when you're alone, that's when the battle takes place. The coach can give you all the advice they want. They can give you the plan. Our job is to arm you with the knowledge and the faith that you can do this on your own. And that's really what it is. Because when people come back and tell me the success story and they try to thank me saying I did it, I will visualize for you I will visualize on your behalf, no matter what, when we're working together or when I read your stuff in the live streams or in the comment sections. I will visualize for you. And in my world, I will only assume and feel that you have been successful. But at the end of the day, it's your world and your experience. So it's your job to see yourself as that version, to experience that life you want. And now with that, for real, as my SP says, for real, that's it. I love you guys very much. I believe in you. You can't fuck this up, and everything is working out in your favor. I'll see you in the next one.